You're wondering what drone to buy. You're wondering where you're allowed to fly. Do you need a license? Do you have to register your drone? What are the rules? I'm in a lot of Facebook groups about drones, and I see the same questions from new pilots in almost every group. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to give you my answers to a lot of those questions and more. This video will help the person just getting into the hobby make the right choices and set them up with the right information regarding regulations to keep them out of trouble with the law. Welcome to Rooster's Road Trips, the channel where we do cinematic videos of places unknown, provide information on camera gear, and help coach small channels to achieve YouTube success. I've been flying drones professionally for over 3 years now. I'm a licensed unmanned aircraft pilot. That's a fancy way of saying I have my Part 107 certificate in the US. I use drones to capture epic video for the cinematic videos I do for the Exploration Unknown series here on Rooster's Road Trips. I don't consider myself an expert, but with my experience and research, I consider myself a professional. I currently own a DJI Air 2S and a Mavic 3 Pro, but I've owned several other drones in the past few years, though these are the drones I ended up with due to what I need them for. As I mentioned earlier, I use my drones to shoot cinematic video to incorporate into my exploration videos I make. I choose them because they excel in this area. The Air 2S has a 1-inch sensor, making it able to produce high-quality 4K video. It also has anti-collision sensors and a host of other features. It's just an all-around great drone for shooting video. But the Mavic 3 Pro surpasses the Air 2S in every aspect. With its Hasselblad Micro Four Thirds sensor, it shoots incredible video and has more anti-collision sensors than the Air 2S. Therefore, I purchased this drone to use as my primary drone, and I now use the Air 2S as my backup. My needs for a drone are very specific: to shoot high-quality cinematic video, but this might not be a concern for you. You might not need high-quality photos or video. Therefore, you might choose a different drone suited more for your needs. This leads me to the first question I see all the time: what drone should I get? Drones range in price from extreme budget drones that will crash almost every time you try to fly them, to more expensive drones that are more purpose-built. I recommend purchasing the most you can afford. When it comes to drones, you get what you pay for. If you go out and you get a cheap drone, odds are you're more than likely going to use it for a week and you're going to buy a more expensive drone anyway. And then odds are you're probably not going to like that one and you're going to end up buying a more expensive one again. This hobby is a whole lot of fun, but it's very addicting as well. If you start out with a budget drone, odds are you're going to buy 3 or 4 of them before you get to the one you actually want or you actually like. As an example, I started with a Holy Stone drone several years ago that I paid about, $300 for. It didn't take long for me to realize that $300 I spent on this drone was wasted. It literally spun out of control and crashed almost every time I tried to fly it. My friend, he had a similar model and the same thing happened to him. It happened so often that we actually named the experience the Holy Stone Death Spiral. So that led me to purchasing the Air 2S, and boy, what a difference that made. I'm not sponsored by DJI, but in my opinion, you really can't beat their drones for reliability or video quality. They're just all around great drones. They stick in the air, they have great return to home features. In my opinion, they're probably the best consumer drone that you can get that's on the market today. So as far as budget goes, don't go super cheap. It'll cost you more in the end. Start with as much as your budget can afford and you won't regret it. You don't want to purchase several drones just to get what you will buy in the end anyways. You'll save a lot of money just by going to the best you can possibly afford. Because trust me, Once you get a drone in the air, you're going to be hooked. The next part of the question is, what are you planning on using the drone for? If you're planning on using the drone to fly recreationally and maybe take some pictures or video to show to friends and family, then any of the lower end DJI drones would work for you. The Neo is the least expensive of the DJI lineup, but is still a capable drone. It's small and compact, but it still packs a punch for such a small drone. The new Flip from DJI has a great camera and is full of features that help a beginner pilot take fantastic shots, and any of the drones in the mini series from DJI will certainly suffice. All these drones are extremely easy to fly, and the camera quality differentiates depending on what model you choose. They all have the return home feature, and some have anti-collision sensors. I had a Mini 2 for a while, and it was a great little drone, stable as could be, even in a breeze, and shot pretty good video as well. Now, if you're looking for higher quality photos, video, or even want more features and stability, DJI certainly has you covered there. The mid-ranged Air series is a great middle ground. They're a little more expensive than the minis, but worth the extra expense if you're looking for photo or video quality. They offer more features, and being a little bigger than the minis, they tend to be a little more stable in the winds. The Air 2S is the same size as the new Air 3S as well, so it's about this size. Compared to the Mavic Pro, it's quite a bit smaller. You can see the Mavic is quite a bit bulkier than the Air. Speaking of the Air 3S, the new Air 3S is a spectacular drone, capable of pro-level video and loaded with features. If you are not planning on using your drone for commercial purposes, then this drone is all you need. And even if you were going to use your drone for commercial work, you would still probably be okay with this drone. Now, if you're a professional or just want some of the best quality video and photos you can get from a drone, then something like the Mavic 3 Pro is for you. This drone is considerably more expensive depending on if you opt for the Cine version or the thermal version or just the standard Pro version. It also has all the bells and whistles, and it's a little larger than the Air series drones. It has a micro Four Thirds sensor, and it shoots outstanding video with its Hasselblad camera. It's the drone I use for my videos, and I can't say enough about it. But for me, a drone is a flying camera, and this drone has a great camera. Therefore, it's the best drone for me. The next level is the Inspire series. These are high-level drones for professional use. They shoot commercial level video and are quite a bit bigger than the Mavic series, and a lot more expensive. The newest model being over $16,000. Definitely not a beginner drone. Depending on where you land and all that, pun intended, is what drone you should consider. If you're purchasing your first drone, I would recommend the Flip, the Neo, or one of the minis from DJI. Again, I'm not sponsored by them, but I really like their drones. I'm sure there are other drones out there that can possibly compete with DJI, but I have yet to experience any of them. If you fly something other than DJI and you think it's better, tell me about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Or if you just want to smack me around in the comments because I'm saying DJI is the best, feel free to do that as well. Next question I see all the time is, do I need a license to fly? The answer is pretty simple. In the US, you do not need a license to operate a drone. If you're flying recreationally, meaning you're not making any compensation or money from flying your drone, all you need is the trust test. You can take this test online and it's free. It's a test you can't fail. It just makes sure you understand the basic rules or regulations of flying a drone recreationally. The test asks questions like, how high can you fly? Another question I see on Facebook groups all the time. The answer is 400 feet above ground level. But back to the license. If you make any compensation for flying your drone, you're required to have a Part 107 certificate in the US, a remote pilot certificate that is issued by the FAA. This is a whole different ball of wax. The test is extensive, and I highly recommend you take a course if you plan on taking the test. But having the certificate gives you the ability to do a few more things than recreational pilots can do, but is mostly centered around compensation. Therefore, if you aren't going to be compensated for flying your drone, you don't need it. Just take the trust test and fly recreationally. Another question I always see is, do I have to register my drone? In the US, if you're flying recreationally and your drone weighs less than 0.55 pounds, you do not have to register your drone. But if your drone weighs 0.55 pounds or over, you do. You can register your drone at the Drone Zone website, and it costs $5. And that $5 fee covers all your drones if you have more than one. But if you have a Part 107, each drone must be registered at a cost of $5 each. The last question I normally see is, what are the rules? I'm not going to list all the rules in this video, but I will go over some of the basics. You're not allowed to fly over 400 feet above ground level. You must always keep visual contact with your drone. You must have a visual line of sight to the drone while operating it. You cannot fly over people or moving vehicles, and you cannot fly in restricted airspace without authorization. But you can get authorization to do so by using a LANC app, LAANC. You can get your authorization to fly in controlled airspace by using that app. You can find that app online for your phone. You can't fly in national parks or any other restricted areas, and always check your local drone laws before taking off. Some cities will let you fly in them, some cities won't. Some cities have special places marked out where you can fly your drones recreationally. Flying a drone can be very exciting and fun when done safely. It allows you to gain a perspective from high above, giving you the ability to shoot great photos or video. It's a great hobby, and I encourage anyone, young or old, to get into it. But I also encourage everyone that is getting into it to at least study enough to get their trust certificate and follow the rules and regulations. There have been a lot of incidents lately where the rules were not being followed and catastrophe happened. When people break the rules and something bad happens, it looks bad on the drone community, and it normally leads to more regulation on flying drones. That's something none of us want. Therefore, if we all follow the rules, recreational droning will be allowed to continue, and we can keep having fun with a fun hobby. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions I didn't cover in this video, and I will answer them as soon as possible. If you would like to check out the Exploration Unknown series, go ahead and subscribe below and check them videos out. I think you're going to like them. And until next time, keep your batteries charged and your eyes on your drone.